sun rises in the east, I'm in the wilderness, and the moon passes us over as the gefilte fish. That purple color's royalty, beast with the horseradishes, and two dogs barking over there, they would say Lazarus. It's funny how the most civilized act like savages, and everywhere we look, we for to pay our taxes. That's voluntary, not imaginary. The IRS will come out to air out the dirty laundry. And on the clotheslines, picket lines, and the conveyor belts. Living my life heart filled with joy cause the pain is felt. Don't forget yourself. Some of the hardest things you will do in this world is to know thyself.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder, your host of the Crypto Wonder podcast. Let's get right into it. But first, as always, I hope you're doing well. And let's get it. So, there's this clip that's been going the past couple of days. There's been a clip of a YouTuber, BitBoy, like a 10-second clip going around of him saying that he has PulseChain, but he's not going to promote it, right? And then how he's going to keep an eye on Hex, because look at what Hex has done, right? This is, it's sad. It's sad because, this is a person who I saw, I don't know how long any of you, have been in crypto, but I remember when he had about 60,000 subscribers, and I thought that was big time. Right? And to reach the point where he's at today, telling his viewers that he has PulseChain, but he's not going to promote it. You just promoted it by saying you have it. There is the idiot statements that people make. Look, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, every day. I'm far from perfect. But I have to call BS when I see it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I have to call it, because it's not just him who's like that, who's wholly dishonest and in this respect, with respect to what he said about PulseChain. Many of them do the same thing, and then will tell the world, or on his social media, hold on to Bitcoin. Because that's the safest thing a person can do. That's like the politically correct, safe thing to talk about something that's supposedly decentralized. Why? Because you can't go to the Bitcoin CEO and say, hey, why are you guys not at 400K yet? BitBoy told me I should hold, but since everything is so low right now or whatever, it's taking you guys forever to hit $500,000. You can't complain to anyone. So you could easily take the safe route and say, hold on to Bitcoin, and then appear to be, knowledgeable because you have over 1 million followers. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And unfortunately, it's the viewers that get harmed. Every time. Every time. That's why a lot of times I say, never mind, fighting for their attention and acceptance. Forget about all that. That is actually right now almost a moot point, because when PulseChain launches, just by virtue of its design to be a copy of Ethereum, but better, a separate blockchain altogether, completely separate, totally, different entity of its own, and it's going to have ERC20s, all the copies of ERC20s on Ethereum onto Pulse. It's going to force people to make a decision to decide whether they're going to use, PulseChain with the free bag of money that they just received. Do you not think everyone is just going to they have to choose? It's either you're going to be sour, salty, and bitter, and say, no, you're gonna dump whatever coins you have, like dump your free money. It's your choice. Or you're gonna utilize the blockchain the way it's supposed to be utilized and enjoy it. And I like that, because you don't have to knock on these, so-called influencers' doors anymore. You don't have to like say, hey, look at me. You don't have to do that. Like the community is thriving on its own. And one of the greatest things that's happening in crypto with the free airdrop, because it's one of the greatest things that's ever been done, because it hasn't been done before, is going to create a paradigm shift. It's going to create a paradigm shift, and it's going to continue to expose the fake content creators who stand behind being selfish and who stand behind greed. Because a lot of these guys, I'm sure if you dropped a bag on them, they would talk about Pulse. But why is that? Why is that? Because they talk about anything they get paid to talk about. It doesn't matter if you get wrecked as an end user. But then a lot of people continue to watch these folks. It's your mistake. You're going to learn the hard way. Because right now, the truth of the matter is, like for me, for example, I don't create blogs for a living. Like I do this is because I enjoy doing it. It doesn't feel like work, right? It's something I enjoy doing, and I'll continue to do it because I enjoy it. But for some people, it's become their, revenue stream. So they have to sometimes compromise who they are for a quick buck. And in crypto, you don't really have to do that. But some people, they just can't help themselves, and they'll give you rates. There's even been, some type of clip of how many, what people charge for what. If you want to talk about this, is going to cost you this and blah, blah, blah. Crazy stuff. Meanwhile, you don't have to do that. One guy, who I'm not going to mention, he's also a content creator, has a fairly decent amount of audience, a big audience, large. He promoted a meme token earlier this year. And since then, the meme token has wrecked everybody. And his position was, he's an Ethereum miner. And he was upset earlier this year because when the talks of Ethereum, I guess before EIP 1559 was coming out, he was against it. Him and his mining counterparts, miners, were against it because Ethereum, since it's been trying so hard for so many years to move away from proof of work to proof of stake, it was going to take money away from the miners, because that's the catalyst. That is the bottom line to all of this. It's about money. It's about money. I just saw another article or a post about how Bitcoin, this year alone for 2021, the miners earned $15 billion. Okay, something like a 200% annual increase, or whatever it was. But in essence, that $15 billion supported pollution. It supported harming environments. It didn't put money in the pockets of Bitcoin holders. That was money that went straight to the miners. Now, you have to compare that to what Hex does. I'm not going to break that science down for this video. But there's something that happens with Hex that's analogous with Bitcoin, but better, without harming the environment, right? Where you printing money by way of T-shares. Having T-shares prints Hex daily, where you experience that revenue, where you receive that revenue, where you receive that yield daily. And the environment does not have to be hard because the system is proof of stake. It's just more advanced, environmentally friendly, and extremely pocket friendly. End of story. But these people are not going to support that. There are people out here, folks, who will never, ever want you to be rich, to be wealthy, to be well off, to succeed, to be better, in a better situation than they are. That's just what this shows you. Focus on this pulseX sacrifice that's about to be, that's about to happen soon. Focus on Pulse launch, mainnet launch that's about to happen. Focus on the hex that you have, because right now there's nothing better to talk about than hex. Until something else comes around that's better, all I'm going to do personally is speak about hex, That's all I'm going to do. And speak about PulseChain. That's all I'm going to do. I got to be real. Because I'm cognizant of the messages I put out in my videos. I'm cognizant about the messages I put out in my podcasts. Because that's the only thing, I can't be anyone else other than me. And so that's it. When you find these characters, all these YouTubers that just, all they do is talk about projects after projects after projects that have just continuously wrecked people, they're telling you who they are. And if you don't believe them, that'll be your mistake. That'll rest on you. Until we meet again or we speak again, I'll talk to you all later. Take care.